So where do we start? I think the one thing on a lot of people's mind right now is what's next for Trump? And I've actually done this reading quite a few times in the last few days. Every day, it seems like I do another what comes next. And I've had some really freaky, crazy results. So I guess we'll start there. So let's say, what comes next for Donald J. Trump? Four of Swords. As we all know, the other day, after Trump cut off Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, all federal programs, he was actually on the golf course that same day while his cronies carried out his agenda. So I feel like this is the answer. What comes next? He's going to rest. He's going to relax. He's going to try to do something that takes his mind off of a lot of the awful things that he's causing right at this very moment. He's going to have downtime where he is playful and kind of escaping reality a little bit. But then, interestingly enough, after that, and we have the Five of Staffs, where it's like, which is the Wands, by the way, in case you don't know. This is conflict. This is, as you can see, the pictures are very descriptive on this deck. This is, he's basically meeting some type of conflict. So he's going to go out, he's going to have some fun, he's going to goof off, he's going to have downtime, and then he's going to get right back into the bullshit. What comes next for the American people? Need I say more? Nine of Swords is kind of an infamous card when it comes to anxiety, stress, worry, nightmares. This is basically mental torment. So I just kind of wonder if mental torment is the point. So for the American people, is Donald Trump enjoying inflicting this mental torment? Give us a little more insight on this Nine of Swords card. A little more insight here. Wow. So his actual goal is to deceive the American people. This is a lot about treachery, deception. So again, we have mental torment and then deception. Give us a little more insight. Oh. This is an opportunity for Trump to kind of, I feel like, retribution. I've done quite a few readings where I ask the question, what is his ultimate goal? And every time I get that he wants to leave a legacy, he wants to make his mark. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here is he's got this underdeveloped sense of ambition. It's like a half-baked ambition, and that's coming through with the Page of Pentacles. So are we going to see civil unrest because of Trump's actions? Page of Pentacles again. Are we going to... Ooh. Seven of Staffs again. Eight of Pentacles. There's an opportunity to stand your ground. It's going to take some strategic planning. Tell us more about the civil unrest that is likely coming because of Trump's actions. You know, I've done countless readings at this point for what's happening, like since, right after the election. And this card specifically, let me just show it to you. This card comes up so often you would not believe. There's somebody leading the charge. And again, that's something that has come through in a lot of readings. Tell us more about this Knight of Cups and his or her role or their role. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is teamwork. These two cards together. And again, like I always say, I get this card a lot in political readings about Trump. There are forces of good deeply involved in this, but this is going to take teamwork to get out of the situation that we're in. Because let's be real, we're in a very dire situation in the United States right now. When are we really going to see the teamwork activate? Or has it? I feel like it's already happened personally, but let's do a timing card, and it looks like that one is wanting to jump out. Another Pentacles. Gosh, guys, look how many Pentacles we have here. So we have the Two of Pentacles. Let's lay that right there. I think there's a lot of decisions to be made before we get to a point where things are kind of moving along. This gives me a lot of hope, these two cards right here. But there's planning that needs to be done. There's work that needs to be done first. So we're not quite there yet. Sorry about the cat yodeling in the background. Another thing that I think is really interesting, but this keeps happening. I don't know if you can see, but the moon's pretty distant here. And then in this one, it's a little closer. And then by this card, it's moved fully into position. And I actually have a really interesting reading that I did where I was kind of asking similar questions, and the cards were showing the moon moving into position and then coming up behind the character on the card. I'm going to say that this is a person, and I'm going to say that more than likely it's Kamala. The Queen of Cups here is Kamala. So now, knowing that, going back to the moon, I'm going to say that the moon has to do with timing. So we see the moon on the right, the moon on the right, the moon on the center. And then if you look down here in the King of Pentacles, the moon is all the way on the left. So I think we're basically waiting on something. Because if you look back here, look where the moon is. The moon appears to be part of her. So I think that's very telling. There's representation here of wholeness and completion, lots of balance, and a return to tranquility. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. I see tranquility. I see balance. This is a person. I believe this is Kamala. So to answer my question from earlier, yes, Kamala is doing something. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to on this hill. It's female energy. I'm confident that it is a woman. Kamala, having worked in all three branches of government, having, been incredibly successful, she has the power, she has the knowledge. She literally wrote a book on election interference. I can definitely see things moving into position. There's a lot of movement in this reading. This first row, all about keeping the faith, letting the star guide. There's going to come a point of impasse. There is going to come a point where things are at a standstill. And then this King of Pentacles energy, I think the most important thing about this card is the position of the moon. So we're definitely gonna call it for that. And with Pentacles kind of representing the physical world and physical things, and often financial, monetary, I think there's gonna be something regarding finances that kind of brings everything to this point of stalemate. And then that will be the time when balance is returned. Just gonna switch over to my card holders here so you guys can see it a little better. So lately there's been all this talk from Donald Trump about he's gonna rewrite the Constitution to give himself a third term, a fourth term. Let's concentrate on, are we going to see Trump finish out an entire 4-year term? The answer to my question is no, he's not going to finish a 4-year term. So I guess we don't have to move on to, is he going to be president forever? He's not going to finish a 4-year term. With this card, even though he won't finish his 4-year term, I think he's going to get what he wants anyway. He's going to be really satisfied with himself. For what he did do. And at this point, it kind of seems like he is on a mission to wreak as much havoc as possible and cause as much chaos as possible. And it's almost to the point where it's like a vendetta against the American people and against this country. So I think that even though he won't finish a 4-year term at all, it's still going to be enough that he's pleased with the outcome. And that's really scary. That's not a good thing. Since the Six of Pentacles was reversed, we're going to interpret this as very much to do with greed, selfishness, hatred, vitriol. He has no sympathy. He has no compassion for this country. He hates this country. Emotionally, this is where he's at. But with the Pentacles, 2 Pentacles coming up, there's so much materialism. Every time I do a reading for him, it's so focused on materialism. I really think that monetary gain is going to be his downfall. I'm also fearful that with the appearance of this card reversed, his downfall is going to come with repercussions for the rest of us. There's going to be strings attached. Let's talk about the Trump downfall repercussions for this country. What are the repercussions? Describe them. Give us some insight. What are we talking about here? I know what I can guess, but I want to see what our friendly spirit guides here have to say. Ooh, another Pentacles. So we're going to stack that right there. There's going to be so much work to do to fix everything he broke. And again, with the Pentacles, it's always the Pentacles with Donald Trump. Yeah, we're going to have to rebuild so much. And I don't mean just physical structures. I mean rebuild our system. Once all of this comes to pass, are his supporters going to turn on him? Or are they going to remain allegiant to him and loyal? Because that's what I'm afraid of. Ooh. The Empress inverted. Tell us a little more about his supporters. Oh, okay. Sorry about my cat. Right off, these 2 cards, I feel like the energy matches. It goes together. The Empress being in reverse, I see a lot of bitterness. There's definitely a lot of bitterness. They see this as a win for the other side rather than a win for everybody. Since we're seeing this bitterness come through here and this hatred and this, jealousy, as if this is a big win for the left. what can we expect as far as behavior goes from Trump's fan base? So, okay. Oh, wow. They're not going to be happy, even when it all comes falling down. Wow. That was, I'm glad I caught that on camera.